All right, good morning, housing fans, advocates, professionals, and everything in between. Welcome to the 2024 Vermont Housing Conference. Thank you for being here today. If we haven't met, my name is Maura Collins. I am so lucky to be the executive director of the best agency represented here today, the Vermont Housing Finance Agency. If you didn't join us last night, we were just celebrating our 50th anniversary at VHFA and had a heck of a party. It's not fair to say that this is VHFA's conference, and I cringe a little every time you all say that to me because it's not VHFA's conference. You have on your table placards that say who the planning organizations are. But before I thank the sponsors and the organizers, I want to thank you, each of you, 500 of you, record-breaking attendance today. Thank you for being here and doing all that you are doing. I will say my family are my favorite people, but you are a close second. Days like today are amazing because I think we're similar, that we all feel passionate about housing, and so being together in community is so important. And for some of us, it has never felt more important than at times like these. For those of you who are grabbing your coffee and your food, that's great. I want to make sure people know there still are seats right up front. So the teacher in me wants to encourage folks to step right up. This entire table is open and available, and you'll have a great view of our upcoming keynote. At our last conference, some of you were here. Raise your hand if you were here 2 years ago at our last conference. Exactly, we put on a good show, people come back. At our last conference, I said that housing, like Taylor Swift, was having a moment. A full 2 years later, I would now like to say that the impact of both of those things has been seen in all corners of the economy. Both Swifties and housing are known to create beautiful communities. You, though, were the vanguards of the housing movement. Look around the room. Today, we've broken our attendance record for this conference. We have 500 people registered to spend a full day focused on housing. We aren't even taking walk-ins at this point. We are going to be at capacity. So with that comes a few logistical realities. Again, there's seating up here if people want to find a chair. There's an affinity space for people of color in the Carlton boardroom that's upstairs. There's an elevator and stairs to get there. Bathrooms are right out this door to the left if you need that here. Otherwise, there's some more upstairs when you get up there. And we have so many exciting people. We've already welcomed our state legislators this morning. We also have staff from the nation's best congressional delegation. And so we do have representatives here. We have Andrew Frost and James Paradises from Senator Sanders' office. I saw Miles McGurman from Senator Welch's office. And sitting right up front, Thomas Renner, I see here from Congresswoman Ballant's office. And if they could all please be stand up and be recognized for their offices, great work, please. Similarly, I'd like to celebrate some recent wins at the state level. Our legislators have a gold lanyard on their name tag, so you know who they are. You should feel free to connect with them throughout the day. Could I have all of our legislators and elected officials who are here today please stand up to be recognized? Thank you all for coming today. Being here shows how important housing is to you, and we all look forward to working with you in the new biennium. So, to kick us off, we are going to do some interactive fun. I want everyone to grab your cell phones. Half of you have them out already, and I see you looking at them and not me. The rest of you can pull them out of your pockets and bags. And we're going to, I went too far. We are going to do a Menti quiz. You can scan the QR code or go to any internet browser and type in menti.com. Some of you who were at our party last night, this may be familiar. When you go to menti.com, you will type in this 8-digit number that's on the screen, and it'll bring you to our quiz. The number is 3615-6776. That's what you're going to enter in when you get to menti.com. 3615-6776. All right? And now we're going to see how we're doing today. So I'm going to control this. Okay. So first I want to know who's here today. Pick one that chooses you best. We all identify in a lot of ways, so you can only pick one. You'll see on your phone that your choices are property manager, housing developer, homeless shelter operator. Sorry, it's really small on my screen. Supportive services provider, housing advocate, housing financer. That could be all our bankers, lenders, investors, public funders. If you're a legislator or congressional office, or if you're another state or federal employee. I think we all are at least housing advocates if we've decided to spend an entire day together. So this will give you an idea of who's here today. And again, you can see that QR code is still there if it's taking you a minute to connect, and you can type in that Menti number at the top of the screen. All right, I like it. Okay, so that's who you're sitting among. I hope you all get a chance to meet each one of you in our networking opportunities. Here's my next question for you. How are you feeling post-election? Now, there's been a lot of elections lately. We've had the federal election and state elections. So you can see here, you can slide the bar to see where you're feeling about feeling positive, a little nervous. As I said to the VHFA staff last week, only one thing is certain in this world, and that's change. And we are seeing change, and that can leave us feeling a little unsettled. But with that, we know that there's opportunities as well, and we can get a sense of how we're all feeling right now. Are we ready to move on from that topic? Maybe I am. All right. Now, how far did you travel for today? Put a pin near where you came from. There is an outside Vermont there, because I know not all of you are even Vermonters. I'm so excited to see so many of our sponsors and business partners and strong advocates. We have speakers who came from outside Vermont. And so you can get a sense of where everyone came from and who's in the room today. All right, good representation. Clearly, we need to do more advertising in Essex County, but otherwise, I'll take it. And for those of you who are hovering somewhere in New Hampshire, I'll take that too. All right, so next question. How much would you say each of these concepts contribute to the housing shortage? So you'll be able to grade these. So how much do you think interest rates are contributing to where we're at with housing? How much do you think the high cost of construction materials, labor shortages, neighborhood opposition, high permit costs and delays, limited infrastructure, we're thinking of water and sewer and those kind of fundamental things, and how much does having too few developers or builders impact the housing situation in Vermont? And feel free to be bold. You don't have to just answer the way everyone else did. I don't know about you, but these results are not surprising me because it's all of them. Hate to say it, but VHFA, known for our data and analysis, we've looked and I can prove to you that every one of these is impacting us. And so it's not surprising to see so much of that spider web glow blue. All right. And now type one word that describes what you're most excited about today. We're going to see a word cloud appear that shows us what we're most excited about. I appreciate the people who are smart enough to figure out the emojis. All right. This is great. Well, thank you for humoring me with that table setting. I wanted to get some of those things out of the way, just acknowledging all that has been going on for each of us and how we're walking into the room today and getting a sense of where we're all at, because we know that we all come into this work and this day from different places. So moving on from that, we have a great team planning today's conference. As I mentioned, each of the 20 organizations are listed on the slide and on your tables in front of you. They were each critical in the preparation for today and have worked together for over 9 months of work. And of course, I'm going to thank the staff of VHFA who helped prepare for this conference, especially Chad Simmons, Lori Gilding, and Leslie Black-Plumeau. Could the entire planning committee stand up to be recognized? VHFA and others, please stand up and get credit for that hard work. The evaluations from the conference are always clear. What you like most about coming to this event is the chance to connect and network with each other. But for those of you who also like to know that your day will result in some kind of clear, tangible outcome, I want to highlight an amazing success story from our last conference. Those of you who were here will remember that after hearing the keynote speaker, Sarah Bronin, in 2022 at this conference, UVM doctoral student Yoshi Bird proposed developing a Vermont zoning atlas to integrate with the national project that Sarah spoke to us about, since our state was the only New England state without a zoning atlas. And so by the end of the last conference, we had 5 organizations who made financial commitments to support the project. Oh, page change. And that is not what I was supposed to do. Sorry, thank you. As the leader of this, Yoshi dove headfirst into directing and completing this project, which is going to be launched in the next month. She recruited and trained a team of 36 experts and student volunteers and built partnerships with the University of Vermont, Middlebury College, the Northwest Regional Planning Commission, and the state of Vermont. The project was funded by the state of Vermont, UVM, VHFA, and an anonymous donor and the Vermont Community Foundation. UVM and the Vermont Center for Geographic Information, which is our statewide mapping resource, proposed how we could make the one-time data collection systemic and always up to date, and credit to the Vermont State Legislature who enabled a way for this work to remain relevant and current. Thanks to this project, Vermont decision makers are now able for the first time to clearly look at a map and see where zoning allows for various types of housing. For example, in the slide that's shown, you can see the gold area, shaded areas are where local zoning allows for multifamily housing. I think each of us want to take a closer look at this map and zoom in a bit and try to understand this more. And so you will have an opportunity to learn more about the zoning atlas at an afternoon workshop where Yoshi and others are going to be speaking about it. But I would like to ask the team of Yoshi, Kendall Fortney, and the UVM Vermont Open Source Research Office, John Adams from the Center for Geographic Information, and other members of the Vermont Zoning Atlas team to stand so we can show them how much we appreciate their dedication to helping Vermont make more informed housing decisions in the future. So this conference and outcomes like that are only possible because of the 60 sponsoring organizations that keep this conference affordable. They're all listed in the slideshow. I'd like to especially thank the conference's premier sponsors that you see on the screen: the Vermont State Housing Authority, the Vermont Department of Housing and Community Development, Raymond James, the Vermont Housing Finance Agency, and Morgan Stanley. We simply could not provide a conference of this size and caliber without their support. They kept today affordable and accessible. So thank you all. And speaking of sponsors, I now would like to recognize the conference's keynote sponsor, the Federal Home Loan Bank of Boston. With their path-breaking Lift Up Homeownership program for people of color buying their first home, FHLB Boston was excited to sponsor this year's housing keynote speaker, Heather McGee, and her message about the powerful benefits of closing racial disparities. And so now I'm delighted to invite up FHLB Boston's president and CEO, Tim Barrett, to speak about their program and to introduce you to our keynote speaker.